The year is 2026, and guess what? The FHSA remains the best tool that first-time homebuyers have when saving to buy their first home. And the longer you wait to open one, the more you're losing money that you'll never get back. I'm not trying to scare you. Look, that's the truth. The reality is, I don't gain anything from you going to open your FHSA and contributing into it in order to save to buy your first home. But if you're a first-time buyer, you have a lot to gain from this. The account was created to give first-time buyers a fighting chance in an insane housing market, and while it doesn't fix the affordability issue, it definitely gives you an advantage that you didn't have before, so use it. And most Canadians still have no idea how the FHSA actually works, so we're gonna fix that today with this video. What is the FHSA? It stands for First Home Savings Account. So think of it like if the TFSA and the RRSP came together and they had a baby. You get tax deductions when you contribute, like in the RRSP, which I'll explain a little bit later. You get tax-free withdrawals, like in the TFSA, when you're buying your first home. And unlike the RRSP Homebuyers plan, you never have to pay it back. And that's the key difference between the Homebuyers plan and the First Home Savings Account. Even if you like the idea that the Homebuyers plan forces you to reimburse your withdrawal, you don't get a second tax deduction. You already got the tax deduction when you put it into your RRSP. However, hear me out. If you start with the FHSA and then you buy a house, you withdraw, and then later on you realize that, you know what, I do want to reimburse that withdrawal, but this time I'm going to be putting it into my RRSP. So essentially you tell yourself you're going to follow the 15-year rule that you're bound to in the Homebuyers plan, but this time you're contributing to your RRSP, which makes it an entirely different account. Therefore, you get another tax deduction. Honestly, this reason alone is why you should always prioritize the FHSA over the RRSP Homebuyers plan. Now, to qualify for the FHSA, you must 1. Be a Canadian resident, 2. Be 18 years or older or 19 in certain provinces, and 3. Haven't owned a home in the last 4 years prior to this calendar year. Your account will stay active up to 15 years or until December 31st of the year that you turn 71, or after you buy a home, of course. If you don't buy a home by then, no problem. You just transfer everything into your RRSP, including the gains, completely tax-free. So now let's talk about the contribution rules. You can contribute $8,000 per year up to a lifetime maximum of $40,000. Those are the current rules as of 2026. No changes yet. However, maybe a change in the lifetime maximum at some point. Now, very important to note that the previous year's contribution room, if unused, can be carried forward into the following year, but only if the account was open during that year. If you opened your FHSA on December 31st, 2025, but didn't contribute, then as early as January 1st of 2026, you could now deposit up to $16,000. And this holds true for any year. Plus, it's completely free to do so, and you can do it within minutes online through your bank's website or app. Real quick, by the way, over 86% of you guys watching right now still aren't subscribed, and most of you are here because you actually care about building real wealth in Canada. Look, I'm not here to make you a millionaire overnight. That's not how real money works. But I will show you how to save smarter, how to pay less tax, and make financial moves that add up massively over time. So if that sounds good, then hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps me keep making videos such as this one. That, let's jump back in. Now let's talk about what you can actually do with the money that's inside your FHSA. So just like other registered accounts like the TFSA or RRSP, the FHSA is not the investment alone. It's just the account. Inside it, you can hold things like cash or GICs, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds, or even individual stocks. But here's the thing, what you choose should mainly depend on 2 factors, your time horizon and your risk tolerance. If you're buying in 1 to 2 years, then you should remain risk-free, like cash or GICs, so the money's there when you actually need it. If your purchase is 5 or more years out, then you might want to think about investing that amount to actually grow your down payment faster and fight back against inflation. The key is to match the investment to your timeline, so that way your down payment doesn't just shrink right before you need it. Moving on to withdrawals. Withdrawals are completely tax-free when you're buying a qualifying home in Canada, it's your principal residence, and you move in within 1 year of purchase. Now, you will need to fill out this form and bring it to your FHSA provider, which I will leave a link to it in the description below. If you use it for anything else, it's taxed like income because you got the tax deduction to begin with. Pro tip, you can combine this with the Homebuyers plan to get up to $60K from the Homebuyers plan and $40K from the FHSA and that is $100,000 down payment, and that is not even talking about investment growth at all. Now, $100K is a lot of money. You don't have to max it out. Just know that it is an option in case you need it. But once again, the key difference between the two is that in the Homebuyers plan, you have to repay your withdrawal, whereas the FHSA, you do not. So now this is where it gets fun. Let's talk about exactly how you get this free money, and it's through tax deductions. Let's say you make $80,000 a year and you contributed $8,000 in your FHSA during the year. Now, your taxable income for that year will drop to $72,000. That means that you're only paying taxes on this amount instead. So if you're a salaried employee, you've already been taxed on your salary, which is taken at every single paycheck. So then when you file your taxes in the following year, assuming that your employer is taking off the correct amount of taxes for your salary, the CRA will refund you the income tax portion on your contribution. Now, for the example that I gave, somebody making $80,000 and they contributed $8,000, that refund is $2,522. That's real money. You're literally being paid to save for your down payment. So why would you ever save for a down payment in just a regular savings account? And here's a smart move. You take that refund and you put it back into the FHSA. Now, in this case, you would only need $5,500 out of pocket in order to max your FHSA for the following year, which is just over $105 per week. Now, on a side note, here's something that most people don't actually realize about the FHSA, including myself. Up until this comment on my other FHSA video, I was able to research and find out that the contributions that you make to your FHSAs may be deductible on your income tax and benefit return for the year of the contribution or a future year. That's right. And it's a really smart strategy if you know your income will be increasing in the near future. Now let's put everything from this video into a real world example. So meet Greg. Greg opened his FHSA on November 1st, 2025, but he didn't contribute. Now in January 2026, he can contribute up to $16,000. So $8,000 for 2025 and $8,000 for 2026. He does it in increments throughout the year to make it more affordable. Greg makes $75,000 a year and he managed to contribute $16,000 for the year. He then files his taxes and gets just under a $4,900 return, which he decides to put right back into his FHSA. He also invests his contributions into an index fund which earned just over 30% in 2025. He repeats this every single year with discipline. Greg builds more than enough for his down payment. So if you're really serious about buying your first home, then be like Greg. Like I said, the FHSA is still the best tool that first-time home buyers have to save up when buying their first home in 2026. If you're eligible, then open it now. There's literally no downside to it. And the earlier that you open the account, the better it'll be for you. This is one of those rare times where the government is actually giving you free money, so take it. If you like or found this video helpful, then hit the like and subscribe buttons. It really helps the channel grow and I would really appreciate it. Leave a comment if you'd like to have a specific topic covered in a future video. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Until next time.